Ultamize. The question is not, can I have this goal? Of course, you can have the goal. You can write down anything. You can declare anything. You can wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to become a billionaire, learn Mandarin, run an ultra marathon, build a media empire, become more spiritual, spend more time with my family, and finally organize the garage. Wonderful, ambitious, also slightly alarming. The real question is not whether you can want something. The real question is whether that goal deserves a place in the architecture of your life. I use the phrase priority architecture because your life is already built around priorities, even if you've never consciously designed them. Your calendar reveals priorities. Your bank statement reveals priorities. Your browser history reveals priorities. Your conversations reveal priorities. Your stress reveals priorities. Your energy at the end of the day, that reveals priorities. The issue is not whether you have priorities, you do. The issue is whether they were designed or simply accumulated. Most people think of priorities as a list. Number one, number two, number three, number four. That's useful, but it's incomplete. A real priority is not just something high on a list. A real priority gets space, gets protection. It gets defended. It gets a boundary around it. It gets a place in the structure of your life. If something is supposedly a top goal, but it never gets time, attention, money, conversation, planning, or protected focus, then guess what? It's not really a priority. It's a decorative sentence. This is where goal setting gets serious, not grim, but it gets serious. There's a difference. Serious means honest. If you say your family is your top priority, but every meaningful decision is made around work, then something's out of alignment. If you say creative work is your top priority, but it only gets the exhausted scraps left over after everyone else has taken your attention, then guess what? It's not really structured as a priority. If you say health matters, but your environment is built around convenience, stress, and late night collapse, then your actual architecture is voting against your stated goal. The priority architecture test is simple. For any major goal, ask 4 questions. Does this deserve my time? Does this deserve my energy? Does this deserve my attention? Does this deserve my ambition? Not just one of those. It needs all 4. All 4 matter. Time is the easiest one to understand. If a goal deserves your time, it needs actual space in your week, not someday, not eventually, not when things calm down, which is the adult version of bleeding and unicorns. Things rarely calm down by themselves if you hadn't noticed. If a goal matters, it needs some amount of recurring space. Maybe not hours and hours every day, maybe not even hours every week, but it needs a real appointment with reality. Energy is different. You can give something time and still give it terrible energy. You can technically work on an important goal at 10:45 at night when your brain is turned into mashed potatoes and your body's negotiating a surrender. That could count as time. It may not count as meaningful energy. Some goals need your sharpest thinking. Some need emotional patience. Some need physical stamina. Some need courage. If a goal truly matters, you have to ask when and how you can give it a better version of yourself. Attention is what makes the goal visible in your mind. A goal you never look at, never discuss, never measure, never revisit, and never connect to, your decisions will fade away. Not because you're weak, because invisible goals lose to visible demands. The urgent email is visible. The client problem is visible. The broken appliance is visible. The random notification is visible. The deeper goal often sits quietly in the background, being noble and ignored. Attention is how you keep that goal alive. Ambition is the final test. This is where you ask, is this goal worthy of my drive? Not every goal needs maximum ambition. Some goals should be simple. Some should be peaceful. Some should be maintenance goals. But your biggest goal should be worthy of the full force of your effort. If a goal doesn't stir any real ambition in you, ask whether it's truly yours or whether it's merely respectable. Here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. You can't give top level time, top level energy, top level attention, and top level ambition to 20 goals. You just can't. You can pretend, many people do. They create a beautiful list that makes them feel well rounded, enlightened, productive, strategic, emotionally mature, and possibly ready for a very tasteful leather planner. But life will not honor a list that ignores capacity. Your real life will keep asking, what comes first when two good things compete? That's why priorities have to be chosen before goals become serious. A goal without priority is a wish with better posture. A priority without structure, that's just a speech. You need both. You need the choice and the architecture to support the choice. So try this. Pick one goal you currently claim matters to you. Then ask, where exactly does this goal live? Does it live on your calendar? Does it live in your morning thinking? Does it live in a weekly review? Does it live in a conversation with people close to you? Does it live in your workspace? Does it live in your financial planning? Does it live anywhere other than your imagination? If the answer is no, don't beat yourself up. It's not useful. Guilt is a terrible architect. It mostly builds basements. Instead, get honest. Either the goal doesn't deserve the priority you thought it did, or it does deserve priority and now needs a real structure. That's the test. Time, energy, attention, ambition. If a goal deserves all four, it's not just a nice idea. It's a serious candidate for your life. If it doesn't deserve all four, maybe, just maybe it belongs lower on the list. Maybe it belongs in a future season of life. Maybe it belongs in someone else's life and not yours. Strategic goal setting is not about having more goals. It's about having fewer goals that are more honestly chosen, more clearly defined, and more deeply supported by the actual architecture of your life.